at the family reunion. Madison with the kitty kitty.
Linda, no, that's Stephen's children over there, Jerry's grandchildren. How many grandchildren you got, Jerry?
4.
Yeah. The only ones, the ones that live in Illinois?
Yeah.
Becca's over there with the other kitty kitty.
Oh, I live near Devon now.
And there's David. Here.
Just get over here and taking the back seat around here.
Jerry.
They got a house.
Jerry.
They got
Taking over Target store?
Dad.
Oh, great.
Get ready to open it.
Oh, where at?
Dot and Papa.
Oh, you're in Lexington. That's right. I didn't know whether you got over there
There's
yet.
Vicky.
We're at in Lexington.
Still being over here quiet.
Oh, okay. Right there by Brazil's Road?
Well, no, it's
Or on the other end?
Chrissy.
Oh, okay.
Ah, I went to hand.
the front end.
And they just live about 12 miles.
Cashiers.
Doug. There's Johnny. They just got back from playing golf out in the field, catching the balls. Over here. There's Becky. Hi, Madison.
Yeah, mine too.
Hey.
Always right. Take it back.
Well, I got it. I let it go on my profit.
Madison. 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 Hi. Hello.
What have you been up to, Doug?
Not much. We've been painting and different things around the house. That's about it.
To see your house.
Somebody waving at us.
Like you got any good sales?
I think it's great that he wants to come
And here we are over here with the food. Yeah. What is that? This is zoom out a little bit. There we go. A whole lot of food. Oh, food. So good. Over in there, behind those trees is the river. And right about in there, there's Summit Road. Walls, halls. Here. Dad, Chrissy. Here, Madison. Food I never saw in there. Take Jerry down. Trying to fly
Jerry
off.
fanning the flies off the
What do
table.
we got over here? Ooh. Running.
Well, they use a lot of calories so I can eat my
newspaper? He doesn't. Nikki,
Yeah.
when you finish doing the food, I think it's cool if it's very
Uh-huh.
I know it. You'd think they'd be gone by now.
Yeah.
When you get to go over there with Daddy and Uncle Virgil and just sit and film and get close enough to where you can hear their conversation and film it.
You can probably hear it from here.
Yeah. I know
I can make a big office.
There's little Dave. David. Pull that lid off, Vicky. Here. Off potato chips. Done.
They won't recognize what they are. Just looking. Don't like to explain what they are.
Come here. Virtual. Papa.
I guess. This stuff is just one coat. When it kills, it's going to be like completely. It's real thick, goes under. I guess it's quite a better power than this out. It's really not that. That's what we use on our. Yeah. And ours is the real dark laser.
Papa's already got his fork and knife ready to eat.
You know, I didn't even notice it. Okay, I won't kiss you. I won't kiss you. I'm not going to kiss you. I will not kiss you. You don't throw it. I told you. Mama, you keep wiping your nose, it's going to be rubbed off.
You ready? Let's put you up here to the end of that.
Hey, Papa. 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 Papa.
Are you close enough? Just have to walk around.
I'm supposed to sit here and take Papa's Uncle Bird's power shake.
I bet that on every seat. Well, Cal's never seen it out here. Code name, whatnot. We took Nikki to the race.
Johnny.
And she took a little
Jackie. I'm going to see what Papa has to eat. Papa.
stick her stick in a little pocket. She was like a pro.
Hi, Papa. What do you have to eat? It's not playful stuff.
Bring it to me.
Johnny's butt. Right down from the place where we were eating at. And Johnny Dagger hitting golf balls.
I'll try to hit him a little shorter.
There's Doug. My hands are shaking. The whole camera's shaking. That would be lovely. What are you doing? So what are you doing? Where'd you, there he is.
Wow.
it's going to be like this. Okay.
Johnny's got 4 balls lined up on tees over here. Where did he go? There he is.
That's a good one.
Hey, hey, got it.
That's a good one.
Hey, got another one.
Hey! Hey! I know it. I wasn't so far up.
There's Becky, and there's David. See here, and there's Rebecca. Doug, you ready to shoot some golf balls now? There you go. There he is. See it. Go ahead where Johnny is. There he is. Oh! I got that one on tape.
I didn't think I did that hard.
Where did he go?
You see it?
There he is. See here, where did he go? There he is.
I'm afraid I'm going to hit it too hard again.
Johnny's starting to sweat. Oh man, I missed that.
That's it. He was running right for it, it hit the tree and zoomed right back.
Oh, just hold on to it. Hold on. It's your camera, isn't it? That don't mean nothing. I never have used it. Reckon if I get in there, will you push me around?
No, gross.
Oh,
there it goes. Yay! The bread flew off.
What bread? How do you?
Big mush piece of bread on the front wheel. It went, yeah.
I can't. Don't see if you can zoom it in. What do you want to zoom in on? Well, just the people.
You're recording right now, still, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so I can try to aim it generally at.
The zoom's at
right here, there. This big button? Yeah. Let's do push the front or the back. Oh. Like it's not focused a bit. No, I know it.
Did you teach her to give
Do you have it on autofocus? No, I don't.
No, but she does it.
Just dig in from down here.
What is it?
It'll be refocused. No, like ours are autofocus.
Madison. Madison.
You focus?
Grandpa.
Yeah, it's just dark underneath. This is autofocus.
Where's your puppy?
When I was zooming in and out, I mean, when I looked at it, there wasn't nothing but blur the whole time.
Oh, you're done now.
Good to see you. You take care.
Yeah.
Well, I thought if you could get it working, we'd
It's fine now.
get well, I can't operate it. Get one of the boys like me. See if we can't get Daddy and Uncle Virtual and Helen in a conversation about something that's a long time ago.
The technology
And then we'll record it.
And we're running right after it.
Zoom right past.
Just a little fella, you and Viv and Junior and Ted and Jimmy and I went to Louisville one weekend. You wheeled us up there. Always this.
Johnny?
What kind of car did you have?
Candy?
No, I can't see to where, if I know where I'm focused. No. Jerry, that's right.
Was the Buick? Okay. And of course the old Dixie, you know, it's not like I-65,
I reckon you are.
wide and so forth as it is.
I've never seen one that you can't put your eye on to
And Bert should drive along.
if you do, it doesn't focus.
And he pretended like he was going to run into the mailbox. Well, Viv and hollered,
Back away from it, you can see.
just like he was going to, and we kids, we all just laughed. That was the funniest trip. Bert said, okay, I'm going to run into this one, and he just barely missed it. And Viv and holler.
Yeah, they do.
You don't remember that, I ain't gonna guess. You remember it, Jimmy?
I've forgotten it, but if you brought it back, I remember.
And then one time we went up there on a Sunday to visit. There were you and Viv and Junior, Dad, Mom, Ted, Jimmy, me, and Pat. 9 people got in one car. You remember that?
Yeah, that was really interesting.
Take out of the mailbox and put that
A box of apples or something there.
I think so, probably. And I know Dad had a little country store down in Grayson County, where we all lived, of course. And he would buy pearls, butter, mayapple, and chestnuts, and all that sort of thing from people. They bring it to the store. And he'd buy it, and then they'd buy sugar and coffee and soda and staples, you know. And then I remember one time when we went to Louisville, 31W split West Point wide open. And he stopped there at that hotel and sold that big bag of chestnuts to a woman there in that hotel there.
Got up at 3 o'clock one morning,
Oh, yeah.
and we had one long golf filling station, huh?
Very quick,
Huh?
That's why it's like quit flooding every year.
No, it flooded this spring.
Yeah.
Real bad. Yeah, this winter, whenever it was.
It used to, every once a year, they just wipe them out.
Anyway, Dad went out one way and put gas in. Night before, had a Model T Ford. Well, he gets up at 3 o'clock, pulls the old car up to the top, had a gas, 4-oil lantern. The gas tank was under the front seat. So he jumps the seat up, sets the lantern down the floor, sticks the nozzle in the gas tank, hit the gas, boom! Run the house, grabbed the quilt off the bed, run out, smothered it out.
That wasn't the end of the Model T.
Are you taping all of this?
Yeah.
Realize that much.
We had, I think it was three flat tires.
And a car.
Well, we were going good. And you know where we had all those flat tires? You know where Cecilia Junction is.
Yeah.
Well, just right on the Cecilia Junction is where we had all these flat tires. we like to never got on up the road. I think we decided, well, Mom would fix, she'd get up and fry chicken. Just for
Jerry, I
us to
thought
go
that camera was on
back
fire.
for.
You got a cigarette.
And we stopped shortly thereafter and ate the
Smoke
chicken.
coming up, look at it coming right up the matter. Right at hill, somewhere. This is Stalker?
He probably would.
This family, you just drive by next year to get to come and eat.
Daddy?
Big old Dodge touring car. We was going to Clarkson, down there by Uncle Billy Skaggs' old place. They put a new culvert in, and they didn't smooth it, make it level, a dip in it. So it's dusty dirt road. So I was trying to see how high I could make the dust go, you know. Well, we was zooming along the wheels on that old Dodge, that tall wooden wheel, spokes.
Jimmy and I were in front, and
Ted was sitting in the back,
with the books
had
and
the
the lunchbox.
books, lunch boxes. Ben Helen was up front.
We could
Well,
barely see over.
I didn't pay no attention to the culvert. I didn't slow down or nothing. We hit it. Of course, I hung on to the steering wheel.
About sky.
What hell of a grab. Ted went up there and come down and peanut butter and jam. Oh,
The dust just flew.
cried, just cried. And we sitting up there laughing. What are y'all laughing about? We could have got killed. I said, I thought it was funny. Let's turn around and do it again. Used to go to E-Town, go to Krager's, sold watermelons. That hill, all in the cemetery, had a place is flat, and then you drop off another hill.
But there was a cemetery.
And every time you go to one of them drop-offs, they could get airborne, get up enough speed. So if I was driving, Mom always sat in the back. Jamesbury, now you take it slow down over these hills. Okay, I give it more gas. It'd take your breath, didn't
That
it? They
hill
all
that you
cried,
talked about, Jerry,
screamed.
there was a big long hill before you get to Clarkson. He was a hateful thing, wasn't he? I'm just trying to keep up with my brother. Oh, yeah. I wouldn't let get the best of me. Ted would let him get the best of her, but Curly wouldn't get the best of me.
Well, she'd run,
But
tell Dad everything. We used her everything.
I was smart. We sit out there and drive the car. Well, and you know when you had to shift gears and how they lope along, you know, you didn't you know, use your, what was it you had, clutch, the clutch, if you didn't do it very smoothly, you lope. Well, Ted, poor old soul, and me too, you know, in learning how to drive, there's a loping would take off. Well, Jimmy, he would just be real critical, make fun of us, and I just let it go in one ear and out the other, but Ted let it get to her, and she just quit driving. She never
She was like Dad. Dad never could drive. He'd lope here to the road down there before he level off and jump it. You know. I was up at the barn one morning, and he's at a cream station. And I was staying at home. I went home with Birch to finish his tobacco crop that year. And I come back before Christmas. Well, when we got through stripping the back, I come back home. Trade had a little old 64 wooden pole I had off the years.
I had one of them
Trade
too,
it
down there,
for
figured out
that Merton, 39 Merton, first Merton come out. Well, I was up at the barn doing something. I heard a crash. I run to the door, and he's over at Robert Carroll's field. Lot over across the road from the house. So he broke a couple posts down, tore the fence up. And I said, "What are you doing?" He said, "Didn't hurt the car, I don't know why." And he said, can you drive me to work and then come and get me? So we had a station over at Roman Johnson's store somewhere over there. Saw it. So I had to quit doing whatever it was I was doing, taking to the cream station. I said, "Well, I won't get nothing done today. I'll have to put Doc's fence back up." I went back there to the locust patch, cut down 3 posts. There's that old hard limestone clay, digging a hole. I finally got it patched up. Doc come up there and said, "What happened, Jimmy?" I said, "Dad got into your fence. He can't drive that car. It's got too much oomph. Got away from it. You run through your fence." I see you sitting over here in my lot.
That's the reason he always kept that old saddle horse, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So he could go, he never did drive. I didn't know he never did drive.
Oh, he's
Just
old.
wasn't good at it.
What?
He didn't have a door on
He
the
didn't have
driver's
many
side.
riders, I guess, did he?
You don't remember that?
I used to
That was my first
keep the car
Was it?
side and I was courting back in them days. I worked all one Saturday evening.
Jerry Holden makes my arms like that. Talks
I didn't have any money to get white wall cars, so I made me some white wall, mostly white tar paint, and made white wall.
You found it now, didn't you?
Oh, I had her looking sharp.
Come here,
Washed it, waxed it, got it all cleaned up. Well, I got all the sharp in.
Yeah, I'm making you hold it.
Court.
I don't know whether it'll show his face or not.
Wait a minute, I want to ride down the mill with you. Okay. Well, he gets in, and he always had his good tobacco in his mouth.
There it is.
And of course, the windows was clean. We
Do
got
what
out
now?
there about the Baptist church.
You're zooming in there. Do
He thought the window was down. Fit in the window. God, it went all over me and him. The car. I said, why don't you throw that damn tobacco? And that made me so mad I couldn't see. So I had to go back, take a bath, clean up all over, get the rags out, clean the car out, wash the window, tobacco, and beer out. Well, I thought the damn thing was down. I said, hell, you got a hand. That's right back.
Well, I want to hear the story about you working the gas pedals and him driving. That sounds really interesting.
I don't ever recall.
You all
that
were going, I remember, you all were going somewhere,
Well,
and there was a creek, and,
Okay, now,
and you
I
had to
think
work
what
the
you-
brake or
Daddy
gas
had
or
to sit on a pillow. He was only 7 years old,
One day,
driving the car.
well, he learned to drive that old Model T pretty early.
I'm falling off my big wheels today.
I think he was about 9 or
Oh, wow.
Oh, okay. I was very capable of driving the car. Big wheels by
So he said, well, Jimmy can drive him.
Oh, that's that old Dodge we had. Took
So-
the back seat out.
Anyway, well, Ted and you and Mom were in the front, Ted and I were in the back. And there was this real long hill, the old Hayes Hill, Bert, you remember that, don't you, before you get to Clarkson. And right at the foot of it was a creek with a little narrow wooden bridge across it. One lane bridge, and with no banisters or anything. And so we started down that hill, and Jimmy thought he was braking it, and he was accelerating. Down that hill we flew.
I wasn't accelerating. On them Model Ts, you could push the clutch in.
Well,
It
you-
was low gear,
Whatever you
and
were
that'd
doing,
slow you down. And that's what I was
thought you
trying
were
to
doing.
slow the load down. Had chickens tied on the bumper.
Anyway, Mom got to worrying for fear we knocked that little wooden bridge when we got down there. But we all were wondering that. But we did. We went across it okay. And Ted sat there and she laughed and laughed. And that made Mom mad because Ted was sitting there laughing. Well, we could have got killed. Oh, and one time we started down that same hill. We were all going to Clarkson school in the buggy. And we started down that same hill. And one of the wheels, the rim, came off, and just the spokes. We went down the wheel, on the spokes.
Right front wheel fell apart.
So Clifton and Juanita and Spencer were going to school, and they were riding along on their horses. So
Oh, they had a buggy.
we parked the buggy at the foot of the hill, I reckon. And some of us got behind Clifton, and you got behind Clifton. I guess well, how did we do it?
They was in their buggy too.
Oh, were they? Okay.
And you and Ted got out and
okay.
rode with Juanita
Yeah, I guess.
dug in. I had to take her old horse out. And me and Clifton rode in. And Mom had big quilts in the buggy to keep us warm. So we just spread the quilt over the old horse. Got on him, you know. That was shame to ride through town. So Dan Riley, Uncle Dan Riley Lyons had a feed store on our side of town. So I rode up, me and Clifton on the old horse, bed quilt dragging, like an Arab. Dan come out and he It took him 5 minutes before he could say anything for laughing. And somebody started calling me Port back down Riley or something. Port, what on earth happened? So I said, you call Dad after a while when you get time and tell him the buggy wheel come apart sitting on Hayes Hill. And we got it off the road, and we had two old buggies. We had one, Pat had one. Because sometimes during the day, you get a wheel off the other buggy, bring it out, put on it, and we'd ride back, pick the buggy up on the way home. So they did. Dan Riley, he laughed and he cried.
No, my first experience with a Model T4, Dad used to buy one every year, and he didn't have 60 miles on him here, hardly back in them days down the country.
Yeah.
But he'd trade every year. Give me the new car. And we had a store down there in Gragson County, and there's a lane right in front of the store, and the house is over on the left side. Well, he'd drive up there and back in between a couple of big trees, you know. One day I decided I'd go out there and start that car. You know, back then they just had a lever switch down on a magneto box, I think it was. Anyway, I wasn't big enough to crank it. You had to crank it. I got out and put my foot on that thing, and that daggone motor started, scared me to death. I jumped in that, it didn't have a door on the side next to the steering wheel, and I climbed over that and hung my britches leg in that lever, and it took off. And there was a fence, a yard fence, right across the drive of that lane going up through there, and it just got almost into that fence before I could stop. But I'll tell you, I never was scared by He's talking about them rocks.
We went to
the two of them, but my brother, or my uncle rather, they had both new stars when they come out. They had the tops laid down. They were two-seat cars. And my mom wanted me to drive them to her church one day, and I went over them ledges like that, scared her to death. My first driving.
Took me by surprise.
we'll get together.
I hadn't driven the car very much, didn't know nothing about it. I could come to the bottom of that hill and I put it on the gas so I wouldn't have to change gears. And we got airborne right away. Over a fence, into the field. And I seen the fence, I could see a gate that's the way, and I told the guy to go and open the gate, and I'd drive out.
Oh, Lord. That makes me think, there used to be a fellow that was loony in East Town, didn't have all these marbles. And you know, they showed West, he was there, took all the movies in. In one of the movies, Roy, I don't know what he was doing, but said, this fellow said, "Go on, Roy, I'll shut the gate for you."
Didn't want Roy to get behind him.
I'm just going to tell you all, Birch was a regular rambler in your young days. And I was already going to school. I was already 6 years old, my first year of school. First time I ever saw Birch. And Pap, I guess, came after us, my grandfather Gragson in the buggy. And he said, "Birch is at home." I thought, well, I was almost scared to get home. And you know who you look just like?
One of them horns, you
You
say?
was Bedford horn. But I remember getting home, you all sat down there under the shade tree. And then when you and Deb went to get married, Well, you have to go to Louisville. And I reckon Dad thought you were gone again for several years. He wouldn't see you. And I can recall him laying down across the bed and cried and cried. It's like you were dead. I reckon he thought you'd never see you again. So you're going to get married.
Who did that, Aunt Helen? Who cried?
Dad.
Did he?
And it wasn't too long after that, though, that you and Viv and Cortland and Vernon and the boys came one Sunday. Do you remember that, Jimmy? You and I were little fellas. We kind of hid around the corner of the house when they got there. Don't you remember that?
I wasn't shy. I wasn't shy like you.
He's not going to own up to it. Hide peeping around the corner.
Old kid.
They never heard the tree, they could never in the well house.
Yeah.
Dad married the second time. I'm gonna bring Esther in. So it's me and Herbert. Right, 8 or 10 years old, I guess. Herbert was all about that. And he climbed that tree and hid.
Look down now.
Yeah.
Zacchaeus climbed up in the sycamore tree. And it was an oak, wasn't it?
Come a big snow, 1918, I think it was. And Dad had a store.
What you doing?
And he shut the store up, come over to the house. The end of the day, I guess. Anyway, we had a walkway in the store in the house. And next day, he couldn't find his wallet. And that was December or something. Snow, I think he said. Anyway, the snow didn't go off till March or April or something. And he found his wallet beside one of them big oak trees by the wall. Fell out of his pocket in the snow. Birch helped build. I remember one of his excursions, he come home and we hauled creek gravel or something and put on the walkway.
You remember it, Daddy?
Mm-hmm.
Painted, whitewashed the barn, the trees up so high. All we had are all spick and span. Alvin Bell had cut through the field down their house to get his mail. And he was stingy as they come. So Dad had an old mule. He was poor as a snake. Didn't matter what you fed him. He didn't get any fatter. Albert got all over Dad. Like, get something to feed that mule instead of painting the barn. Dad gave him a cussing. He was so stingy, Dad would pay, like back then, 6 or 8 cents for a dozen eggs, and they'd pay a penny more at Clarkson, which was 3 miles farther. Albert would walk 3 miles with a dozen of eggs to make 3 cents. 2 cents.
I'd say he was pretty stingy.
Yeah.
Who was it now? What was his
Back
name?
then, it was even country stores that people come in and buy nickels worth of sugar.
Yeah.
I remember one old gal used to come in their store and she, nickel with the sugar?
With nickel for the sugar was probably a whole lot then.
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
My boy used to call it sugar.
Sure.
There comes the Gragson.
I don't know. Don't think so. If it is, we don't know. The cat don't even know it.
Cat don't know him either.
Well, Daddy, how did Granddad end up selling his store that he had?
Well, during the Depression, he was feeding everybody. Nobody had any money, so they wanted whatever they wanted. They just he let them have it on the credit.
Yeah.
He never did collect. And inventory got down so low he quit ordering anything else. So Ben Hawkins lived up the road there, up Keller Schoolhouse. Had nine old ewes and a buck sheep. And he traded Dad and 9 old ewes and that buck sheep for his inventory in the store.
Gosh.
And I think Dad come out the big end of the deal.
There's one of the people, Dave Ward, you know, old great big dad, and his wife would make quilts, take them to Clarkson and sell them. So Mom offered to take some of those quilts on what they owed. Let Mom have it, take them to Clarkson and sell them and get the money for them. Pay her that. They still owe. A lot of people still owe debt.
Country stores there. Yeah, Dad had a big old ledger of red. That's the people old. Never did collect it. And what money he had, the bank collapsed, lost that. Good thing we had that old farm. We did have plenty to eat on
Back in
that.
the Depression days, all the, out in the country, everybody had cow and chickens, and they had eggs and milk, raised, garden, and so forth, and survived. But if we came another depression, we'd all starve to death, I guess, because we don't have any cows or chickens or anything in the country anymore.
Uncle Virgil, what's the first thing you remember? How old were you? What's the first thing you can remember in your life?
Do you remember when your mother was living?
No.
Do you remember her?
No. It was 5 years ago, and we were getting 6 when school started.
When she died?
Yeah.
What was her name?
Bertie.
Roberta.
Was it Roberta or Bertie or
I'll
what?
get it.
Roberta.
Well, Blanche, I've got some material. I'll just go get it now.
All right.
Name was. But they had a child named Jerry Sheever. Did you ever hear of that?
Good grief.
And then his second wife was Levine and Saltzman. And then they had a whole bunch of children that died, just children. Did you know that? And I was down at Blanchard about 2 weeks ago, and I saw Luana, you know,
Rocks.
Uncle George's Luana, and was asking her about that, and she said she never knew that he was married twice. And I thought maybe this Katrina, or whatever it was, she was here, and I thought, well, according to this, she was more than 2 years before your mother was. I thought, well, you know, dates can get mixed up. And I thought maybe that could have been her. And I called Luana, and she said she never heard of him being married twice, but she said Aunt Betty was the oldest child. and she said she didn't know how, when she was born and so forth. So, I looked at something anyway, that would not have been your mother because she would have been younger than Aunt Betty and so forth. It didn't jive out, you know. So,
Alrighty then. Yeah.
I called her.
Well, she's who you need to talk to.
Vicky? Oh, I can't hear you. May not pertain too much to you since it's Nicholas's, but sort of all in family too.
Ransom. Now there's a good name. Ransom.
Let me.
I'm going to give this to you all, and then you can pass that
Ransom Levi Weather.
Now,
Ransom Levi.
Poppy Bird.
It won a Brewers Cup.
Here, give you a copy.
Him.
Oh, did I bring you one? Okay.
I didn't know what I was supposed to do with it.
Well,
There down there.
now here's, I'll give you one, let you look at it, and you can give it back to me.
Okay.
Because I thought I'd give, what's her name? Herbert's granddaughter, Patty now. I sent them a card or letter.
I figured maybe Patty.
Yeah, I didn't. I fixed a copy. I thought I could pass it around and then you all can make copies and give it to your children. And here's a Gragson. There's an old Gragson Town School. That's Gragson information here.
So what is the significance of this school?
Well, it was, well, I always understood it. It came off of William Campbell Gragson's land. He donated the land. Sometimes it was called the Gragson School, and sometimes it was called Horntown School, and sometimes it was called Macedonia. Well, I don't know what was the proper.
So when Granddad taught school, where did he teach school?
Little Clifty didn't work. No, all that when they could get through it like 4 years, Jerry, they all looked alike, didn't they, Bert? Pretty much.
You whipped every one of them?
What they do?
What they do to whip
Have an arithmetic class, I think. I was trying to tell the kids what to do and how to do, and they kept raising the devil and raising, you know, and all that.
Yeah, I know.
I told them all about all the tell them I got my quick and I'm gonna get them all ready.
It's whipping all of it. I might try that tomorrow and see what works with your whipping.
I just wonder if Pap ever taught school.
Yeah, we did.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Where did he teach?
Oh, I don't know. I guess Clifty or Horntown or somewhere.
Oh, he might have taught in this school.
Well, that puzzles me.
Long line of teachers.
Well, when I started teaching, Dad had one of those bells like all the teachers had. And so when I started teaching, I took Dad's bell. And I still got Dad's bell. But it looks to me like he was saying Pat used that if he did. And that's what bothers me. I never did hear Dad say
Maybe you
Pat
missed
taught
that.
school. You can't find it in the I don't know.
I took them off, silly. She's looking at it.
Wait, Dad.
What are you doing?
Someone's here.
You never been to
Somebody else. Nikki. What? The kitty cat cried. The kitty cat cried.
Everybody leaving? Everybody leaving?